Getting scammed. Let's talk about it.
Tonight, a South Carolina man is warning others after he says he was scammed out of $18,000 after he put his car up for sale. The man says it all started on Facebook Marketplace, which has become a common spot for folks to trade, sell, and buy items. Unfortunately, officials say it is also a place that attracts scammers. WCNC Charlotte's Jesse Pierre is live in Uptown Charlotte today. After talking to that man, Jesse, what did he have to say?
Well, Christopher Kane tells me this has been devastating. He's getting married at the end of the year, so his plan was to use the money from the sale of the car and put it towards his wedding. But instead, he's left without a car and with a bad check.
Everything I have is tied up in this vehicle, and without it, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Christopher Kane listed his white 2016 Audi on several sites and found a buyer on Facebook Marketplace ready to buy his car for $18,000.
But this individual reached out to me, indicated that they wanted to purchase it for their wife. Everything seemed legit.
Kane drove down from Spartanburg to Charlotte and met the buyer at a parking lot on South Tryon. The man checked out the car and then gave him a cashier's check issued by State Employees Credit Union, a bank he was familiar with.
I took the cashier's check straight to my bank. I had the teller look it over. She said it looks real and as well.
But once the check was processed, he learned it was not legit. Kane even drove back to the credit union and says they confirmed he had been scammed.
The check, they told me, originally was a legitimate account number, but apparently the check had been washed. So at some point the check was legit.
Kane filed a police report and is now battling it out with his insurance company.
It is devastating. I don't have the car. This person has the car, both keys and the title. And unfortunately my insurance is not going to cover this either because the police have reported this as fraud rather than theft.
Kane says all he wants is his car back.
I work hard for my money. I work hard for the things that I own. I don't get help from anybody. And for someone to just take my vehicle fraudulently, it's very frustrating.
Yo, people freaking suck. Like, I don't think you can get much lower than scamming somebody out of money. I mean, it does not get much lower than that when we're talking about freaking people, man. My gosh, that is insane. So a couple things on that. As a guy who sells a lot of items on Facebook Marketplace, there are a few things, rules that I've followed because, I mean, shoot, I've been buying and selling stuff since Craigslist times back in, high school, is you never accept anything through text or never send and click any links through text. The other thing is I'm never ever, especially on something that large of money, is taking any sort of check. If there happened to be a check that I was going to receive, that person's going to have to go to my bank with me, and they're going to have to wait until that check clears, until they get that title that I have in my hand. There's no way in hell I'd hand that over. I either want cold hard cash or I want money wired directly to my account. There is no way I would ever accept a check and just let the let the guy ride off like that. Unfortunately, you just can't accept checks. You cannot let somebody ride off like that because unfortunately, that's what's going to happen. Now, this next one's scary. It is. And this is something that I think a lot of people really don't think about until it happens to them.
I have had my identity stolen.
That's really bad.
My phone rang, no caller ID. So I answer. She goes, "Hi, it's Linda from the Australian Tax Office." "Is that Adam?" I said, "How do I know you're from the tax office, Linda?" She goes, "I get this all the time. Here's this number. Google it. Find that it's the official ATO website. Then call this number. It'll send you straight back to me, I guarantee." I'm now convinced. She goes, "What's your address?" Tell her my address. And she goes, "That's not your address." She goes, "Do you have another address?" Because I moved end of last year. I was like, "Oh, maybe it's this one." And she goes, "That's not it either. Can I just confirm your bank account?" So I said, "This is my BSB." And she goes, "Okay, and the account number?" Gave up my account number.
What?
And she goes, "That's not the account we have registered. Have you got a big refund in your account from the tax office, about 10 grand? And I was like, "No. Somebody has registered an ABN in my name, claimed tax credits of GST of about 10, 20 grand in March and in June, then taken $25,000 from the tax office illegally to an address and stolen the money under my name."
Well, that's because you keep giving your details over the phone. It makes perfect sense. Yeah.
That's that's scary, guys. So basically what happened is someone got his social security somehow and committed tax fraud in his name. Now, here's one thing to keep in mind when it comes to your identity getting stolen, because guys, it can literally ruin your entire world. These days, it feels like everyone's personal information is out there. Your name, address, email, even your phone number. And a while back, I noticed I was getting non-stop spam calls, weird junk mail, and even texts from numbers I didn't recognize. Turns out, data brokers are behind a lot of that. Now that's where Incogni comes in. Incogni is a tool that automatically contacts data brokers on your behalf and gets your personal data removed. They deal with the back and forth so you don't have to, and keep monitoring in case your info pops up again later. Now think about this. In the US, people search sites that can show your info and your family's info to anyone. That's not just creepy, it's dangerous. There are even cases of identity thieves using this data to take out loans under someone else's name. And I don't want that happening to me or my kids. Using Incogni just takes a few clicks. I signed up, gave them permission, and they took it from there. It's hands down the easiest way I've found to actually do something about this problem. So if you care about your privacy or your family's, make sure you click the link down below in my description and sign up using code JJBuckner to get an exclusive 60% off an annual Incogni plan. Seriously, guys, start protecting yourself today. I'll have that link down below in the description as well as a pinned comment. And do not forget to use code JJBuckner at checkout to get your 60% off that annual Incogni plan.
I just called my friend and I told her, and I called my mom too. Actually, I called everybody with a fucking set of ears who would listen. I fell for a scam. You know, they're just getting so creative. And I always say, I just feel so bad for old people because, girl, I don't know what's real anymore. Between AI and all the scams. And no, usually I can tell when something's AI. But, okay, to give you some backstory, I've been waiting on a package since Black Friday. Oh, let me check on my baby. Okay, so waiting on a package since Black Friday, I get a text, which I know, and I've gotten one of these text messages before, and I never responded to it. That's got me thinking, should I have responded to those other texts that I got before? No, I shouldn't have. It was a scam. I got a text from USPS saying, oh, can you confirm your address? We don't have all the information we need. Okay, yeah, confirm my address. Then it goes on to say, okay, there's a 30-cent charge. Can you put in your debit card, credit card information? So mind you, before this, I already copied the number it sent me the text from, type it into Google, nothing popped up. No, usually if I type it into Google, it'll be like spam, whatever, nothing popped up. So I'm like, okay, whatever, 30 cents. I put in my fucking credit card information. And then it's loading. It says we need to verify. We'll send you a code for verification. I never get a code. I'm checking both my emails, checking my text messages. I get no code. 60 seconds goes by and it pops up a message just oh, well, we can't complete this payment. And that's when now the alarm bells are going off. This is a scam. This is a scam. Oh my God. So then I type into Google USPS scam text message. And it popped up immediately. The same exact text message I got. And I called my bank and I canceled my card. But I was like, I cannot believe I fell for that shit. They're getting so good. And I just worry about me when I get older. I worry about everybody, bitch. And you know what it is? It's pure desperation because I've been waiting on this package since Black Friday and I'm in desperation mode. Where is my shit? And I think they know everybody's desperate right now because the postal workers up in Canada are on strike and everybody's shit is taking forever to get sent out. So whatever, don't fall for fucking scams because they're out here to get your hard-earned money, girl.
Oh, gosh, yeah, those are tough. I mean, because like she said, when you're in desperation and you'll do anything to get your package or whatever it is that they're trying to get you on, or maybe you're really nervous about a bill that's, not paid, but it's really not real. You know what it is, and you're worried about having some bill go to collections when really there's nothing that you have to worry about. But this stuff's so easy, especially coming through text message or a phone call or whatever it is. It's quick and easy for someone to just click on a link, throw their credit card in there, because we do that for everything nowadays, right? It's very easy to do that. Now the one thing I always like to do, and I tell my wife, I tell my parents this, I tell my wife's parents this, never give out card information, account information, personal information to someone that calls you. Never. No matter what. Even if it is the legit person, I ain't doing it. I'll call you back when I find the legit number and I can solve this. And let's just be honest. No one like that's going to be calling you asking for credit card and bank account information. It ain't happening. So anytime I feel even an ounce of, ooh, maybe I do need to do this, I don't do it. I don't. I'll save it and I do it for myself because you don't want to get caught with something like this. But that is why I love using credit cards, though, because of the safety feature behind fraud, someone getting money into your account, whatever it is. Because if you used a debit card and they got access to your cash and your checking account, it's a lot harder to get that money back than it is from a credit card. That's why I love using credit cards, because of the safety feature that's built in with that. I hardly ever use my debit card unless I'm just at the ATM getting some cash.
Here, can you hear this guy? Tell me what to do, because I can't hear him.
All right. Hello?
You can't hear him. Let me take my hearing aid off. Now try it.
Can you hear me, sir? All right, sir. Can you please
can't hear him?
the home screen of our cell phone and open the control application?
Somebody charged me on my Apple, and I gotta fix it too. So better don't charge me.
Is this your bank?
No, it's not a bank. It's Apple. I got a text from them.
Yeah, they were lying to you. They're trying to get your money. If
Look,
they call you,
I'll
it's
tell you
like,
what they did.
yeah, show me the text message.
Look, this is what it said.
Yeah, that's just a scam text message.
Oh
They're
my
trying
God,
to get you.
thank you so much.
Not a problem, ma'am. You don't ever answer those
I've been
text
trying to get
messages.
people.
There's
Isn't
lots
that
of
all?
them. They'll send you one about your car tag, about the Sun Pass.
Uh-huh.
If they ever send you that text message, it's not real either.
What is this? The SunPass? What
yeah,
about it?
they'll send you a text message like that about it, and it'll be a lie. It'll tell you get on there and pay a fee, and it'll really be them taking their money.
Because I got the SunPass.
Yeah, don't let that happen
Oh
to you.
my God.
No problem.
Thank God for that young man coming to save the day. That's one thing that pisses me off. Pisses me off and makes my blood boil. I want to find them scammers. I do. I just want to give them a little JJ loving, if you know what I mean. Oh, God, it just pisses me off. It pisses me off, guys, because this is something that's hit to me pretty close. Years ago, something like this happened to me on Instagram. Impersonating was real big a few years ago, back during the COVID eras. And, I had a following back then from YouTube and Instagram and whatnot. And these scammers would build basically fake portfolio or profiles of me. And then they would message my followers, and they would actually follow them and message them. And then my followers think that it's me reaching out to them. They'd have the same pictures and everything. But if you look at the pictures, there's no likes or anything like that. So there's ways to look at it. But again, they made it look very slick. Well, I had people that would message me all the time saying, "Hey, JJ, I sent you some money to invest with you through Bitcoin, blah, 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 blah." And I was like, guys, come on now. Like, I've said this many times. Like, one, that's not even legal for me to do. Like, I can't take your money and invest it. And two, I would never ask you to invest with me. I wouldn't want to do that. I don't want to be in charge of someone else's money. I don't. I would just rather you guys handle it yourselves. But here's the thing. People were actually giving money to these people and never seeing their money again. I had one person reach out, guys. I think it was like $30,000 to $40,000, maybe even 50. I can't remember off the top of my head. $30,000 to $50,000 they lost because they sent money to what they thought was me. I got a message. I will never forget it to this day. I was getting ready to go to eat. It's when we were living in Florida, and I see this DM come in. It's like, "Hey, JJ, I think I've been scammed. I haven't been investing with you over the past 6 months, have I?" And I was like, "Oh, no." And then she told me of how much it was, and I felt my heart drop. Guys, I can't stress this enough, and especially from that video, like, you have to help your grandparents, your parents, your loved ones, your spouses. Like, you gotta let people know, hey, if someone ever reaches out asking for something, no matter what, don't give it to them. Just don't. You don't have to worry about it. Don't give anyone that reaches out to you any of your information. They don't need it when it comes to finances or Social Security or whatever it is.
Hey guys, I just wanted to post a video just as kind of a little bit of awareness to scams that are going on right now. I know I've seen this on social media a couple times, but you never actually think it's going to happen to you. I just got a phone call from my mom, like panicking, freaking out. asking me where I was. And I said, well, I'm at home. Why? And she said, well, your father just got a phone call from somebody who sounded like you, saying that they had gotten drunk and they were in a car accident and they were at the courthouse and they need to be bailed out. And the courthouse is going to call you. Well, my dad actually thought it was me because he said it sounded exactly like me. Obviously, it wasn't me. So when my mom called me to tell me that, and because I had seen it already on social media, I called him right away and I was like, don't send any money. Don't play into their shit. It's not me, right? Like, don't fall for this scam. So just so you know, it's like a disgusting scam. Like, you know, the fact that they're calling grandparents and parents to say that your child or your grandchild was like arrested and they need to be bailed out and this is how much money we need and like meet us here kind of thing. Don't fall for this shit, because I know some people would actually send money and you think that, you know, you see it on social media and you don't actually think it's going to happen to you, but it does. So just be vigilant, people. Just let your parents know, let your grandparents know that if they get a call from you, I mean, everybody's lifestyle is different. So to some it could be believable, but to others it's not believable at all. So good for you. But don't fall for this scam. So let your loved ones know that this is what's going on right now, because my dad really thought that I had gotten drunk and got into a car accident and was arrested, and that he was going to get a phone call from the courthouse and that he would have to go and meet a court appointed person or whatever is what they said to give them the money. They're not allowing people to do this on Visa. They're asking you to take cash out and go and meet this court appointed person. Do not do it.
So I wonder if they're using AI to make the voice sound like her. That's what worries me for the future. It really does, because think about some of the crazy stuff that AI can do right now, right? I mean, it's unbelievable. I use it every day for my job, and it is unbelievable what AI can do. And the technology is rapidly advancing as we move forward. And what's scary is, although the technology can probably be used for a lot of good, as it will, there's also going to be a lot of bad that's used with AI technology. Stuff like that is a great example. I mean, you can literally, some dude can call my wife and she thinks it's me and I'm held up hostage, or, you know, AI is making it sound like I'm in jail or whatever it is, and she needs to wire some money. Oh my gosh. You know, like, this poor wife, scared shitless, like, oh my God, my husband's gone, and if she can't get a hold of me or something. That's scary. And then they can make it sound so legit. And if you get desperate, if you get scared, it's very easy to let your guard down and be like, yes, please just do whatever you need to do because I need my husband back, or whatever it is. Scary times we're living in, guys. Scary times. So please be careful with anything you do. Even if it's something like that, always reassure yourself and you call the courthouse. You call the courthouse in the county that they're sitting in and say, hey, you know, is my son, daughter, spouse, whoever, are they really in this jail? Are they sitting there from a DUI? And when you get clarification, you know it's a scam.
Want to know what I think is the biggest scam of the financial services industry? Coming from someone who has been in the industry for 8 years, I'm a broker. I have all my insurance and investment licenses, Series 6, 26, the whole deal. It is whole life insurance. Whole life insurance is a scam for middle class America, and here's why. You were probably sold this policy as some way to build up savings. You can borrow your money. You can be your own bank is the fancy term that they use now. But here's the issue with it. Did you know that when you pass away and you have this policy, your family is not going to get the savings that you've been building up this whole time? The company keeps it. So let's keep it simple. Let's say you went to Chase Bank and you wanted to open a savings account with them to build up money for, I don't know, your daughter's college, for a down payment on a house, whatever you wanted to use it for. But then they told you, however, if you pass away while this account is open, Chase Bank is just going to go ahead and keep all this money. Exactly. You would not want to open that account because obviously you want your savings to go to your family. That's kind of the whole point. Anyways, that's exactly what's going on inside your whole life insurance policy. You're paying for two things, which is typically why the policy is pretty expensive for the amount of life insurance you get. Most families are underinsured anyways, but that's a whole nother topic. You're paying for two things this whole time: life insurance, savings. You pass away, you only get one. In my opinion, that's a scam. That's a ripoff. I want both. So I would challenge you, do your own research. I'll put right here, if you just Google who gets my cash value when I pass away, you'll see it very clearly says that the company keeps it, that your family doesn't get it.
Guys, I despise whole life insurance. I despise it. I absolutely hate that product, and my wife and I have term life insurance. We have term life insurance that we opened up years ago, and here's kind of my general thought. I'm not going to go into a deep rabbit hole on this, but I do agree with her, and I think whole life insurance is a scam. I really do. The reason I love term life insurance is because, one, it's relatively affordable, and two, it's set up for a term amount to cover you in case you pass away, right? And here's my thought process on this. Term life insurance is set up to get you through the time of life where you may not be fully set up, money-wise, financially. So my wife and I, when we got our term life insurance policies, we chose to take out 30 years. That's the longest term we could take. We got it cheap enough. I think we each pay like $250 a year, and it's super affordable for us, right? I mean, that's cheap. I talk to friends of mine who pay whole life insurance policies, and they're paying $500, $600, $700, $800, sometimes $1,000 a month, guys. Guess who also makes real good money from whole life insurance policies? Insurance agents. So why do you think they're trying to sell them like freaking hotcakes? It's because they get a nice commission check from it, right? So yeah, when you get a nice commission check, what makes you think they're not going to want to sell this high-ticket item for the insurance company? It's complete dog shit, guys. I hate whole life insurance policies. The best thing you guys can do is open a term life insurance policy because, yes, I do think life insurance is important, especially if you have a family with kids. So let's say you get term life insurance, you got 20, 30 years. That gives you 20 to 30 years to get your money right. Right? Pay off debt, start stocking away money in your investment and savings accounts so that whenever that term life comes up, and let's say you happen to pass away right after that, well, you don't have to worry about it because hopefully by then your mortgage is paid off, you have no debt, you have a nice chunk of change in your retirement and savings account, and hopefully probably have some other investments too. That was my wife and I's plan whenever we got term life insurance. We said, hey, we're going to work our butts off and handle our money correctly so that way we know once we get to that limit of our 30-year term and it's up, the goal is to already be set up financially to where we don't need term life because our kids are going to be grown and gone. They're going to be out of the house. They're going to be self-sufficient. They're not going to need to be relied on us. We're not going to have any bills to pay except whatever it is to keep the lights on and maybe go have some fun every now and then. And then hopefully by then we've managed our finances correctly enough to where we have enough in a nest egg too, where my wife or I, whoever dies first, hopefully me, my wife won't have to worry about anything. That's the goal. And then to get there, instead of paying $500, $600, $700, $800 for a whole life insurance policy, you are much better off earning a return in the stock market and putting your money in there, or go buying real estate or whatever floats your boat. Pay your term life insurance, your minimal amount every single month, or pay it annually like we do. And then the difference that you would pay towards whole life insurance, go throw it in a market tracking index fund. That's going to outperform that whole life insurance. Don't get whole life insurance, guys. Literally, like she said, one of the biggest financial scams out there. I hate whole life insurance.